Hi everybody, it's Anthony Morrison and welcome to this week's edition of our Success Connection. So first of all, I want to thank you all for connecting with me on Facebook. Crazy amount of comments, crazy amount of interaction and engagement, and I promise you that I'm going to take all of it to heart. It's a great place to be able to connect with me on a daily basis. I'm on my Facebook looking at all the comments and trying to respond to people, and so it's just a great opportunity for us. If you look right below the video here, I've announced the winner of the ePad from last week, but most importantly, I'm just excited to have another level of connection with you so that I can help you as much as I possibly can. Now this week, I want to talk to you about something that I realized watching TV. Believe it or not, I don't watch that much TV, but I realized that success comes, okay, one step at a time. Okay, you've heard this. It's kind of cliche, right? Success comes one step at a time. We've always said take baby steps. But I think if you put it into perspective, a lot of times, people can say just do it this way, and then it doesn't register with you unless you can put it into perspective, give some kind of story or visualization that you can use to kind of see why it makes sense. And I actually have my notes here because I want to make sure I don't leave anything out. But think about it like this. Now I watched this show on television, and it's on the Food Network, and it's about these people that try to eat the largest hamburger. They go to these big restaurants or these little hole-in-the-wall restaurants in places that where only one person in 100 years has been able to eat this big hamburger or this big plate of fries or whatever it is, right? It's like the challenge to eat this big plate of food. And I watched this, and I watched these people. They freak out. Like I was watching time after time after time, they were failing because they were looking at this big daunting task and they're visualizing having to eat, like this one in particular, this massive hamburger, right? Just massive hamburger, like this big. And they're looking at it and they're visualizing having to eat that, and it's just freaking them out. And they stop before they ever get started. But then I watched this one guy that actually completed the task, and I watched how he did it. And it made me just remember, and it's kind of crazy to relate this to food, but it was a good example because it brought it to my mind. But I watched how he completed this task and how he actually accomplished this goal in a completely different way than everyone else. He took this massive, big hamburger, okay, really big, okay, and instead of looking at that big picture and freaking out, he took a fork and a knife and he cut it like it was a piece of pizza or like it was a whole pizza, like this. And he took like this particular slice right here and he put it on a different plate and he looked at it and he ate it, right? And he was able to eat this little piece, okay? So then he grabbed another piece and he ate this piece, right? And then he grabbed another piece and he ate it. Now, what he did was he broke down this massively big obstacle into these little obstacles, these little pieces. And with each piece that he ate, right, with each piece of this hamburger that he got rid of, he gained a little confidence because he was able to complete a task. So he gained a little confidence. So then he grabbed another piece and he ate the whole thing, and then he thought about it and he gained a little more confidence. All of a sudden, he wasn't thinking about this huge obstacle. He was thinking about just these little obstacles, right? These little steps along the way, right? And when he got down all the way, he'd eaten all the pieces, right? Now this was a guy that was, obviously there was a good chance he was going to lose when he got started, right? Very few people are able to eat this hamburger. Once he got all the way through and he was on his last piece, okay, he had plenty of time. He could have sat there and he could have eaten it slowly and he could have done it in the amount of time. But he got to this part and he had built up so much confidence after eating all of these pieces that he rushed through it because he wanted, at this point, to beat the record, right? Because there had been a record of the fastest person that ever ate it. So instead of worrying about could he even complete it in the amount of time, now when he got to his last piece, he was on a mission. He was zoned in to just beat the record, not just to do it, but to beat the fastest record ever. And he was able to do that. And what I noticed about that, and what I think is important that you take away from this, is not that you should go home and try to eat the biggest hamburger. It's that when you take a big daunting task, much like maybe internet marketing, creating a stream of income online, taking time away from your family, away from your friends, to be able to spend the time to do this stuff online that we're teaching you to do, or that you've been doing now. Oftentimes, when you look at it from a macro level, from back here, and you look at all of it on your plate at one time, it's this daunting task. You get scared, you get worried right at the beginning, right? And it puts you in the wrong frame of mind to even accomplish anything. Because what you're trying to do is, instead of breaking this whole thing up, you're over here with this big piece and you're just trying to eat these little bites, right? And you're eating them from all these different sections and you just don't feel like you're getting anywhere. But if you break things down into little steps, I'm telling you right now, what ends up happening is you gain a lot of confidence, because every time you complete that step and you complete that obstacle, you feel good. It gives you this renewed confidence in your ability to make this thing happen. And so then you go into the next step with a little more confidence, and the next step with a little more and a little more, until you get to this last piece over here and you have a massive level of confidence. You're already now completed the whole puzzle instead of just sitting there trying to chip away at random little pieces, and it gets you to success a lot faster. I know it's crazy that I come up with this stuff watching television on the Food Network, but it's just the approach. It's the mental approach that you take to the things that you do in life that can really weigh the outcome. It can change the outcome from success to failure. It's all about how you perceive it and how you look at it and how you go about making it happen. So hopefully what your takeaway from this is not that you need to eat a lot of hamburgers that are really big. It's to break things down into little steps, into little obstacles, complete each one, take that massive amount of confidence that you gain from it and apply it to conquering the next obstacle and the next and the next. And I'm telling you, by the time you get to the end, it won't be just about conquering the obstacle. It'll be about conquering it and doing it better than anybody else on the planet's ever done it. And you'll look back and you'll see that you've accomplished this massive goal in these small little steps and gain a massive amount of confidence along the way. So hopefully you can apply this to your business this week and start right now doing this, because I'm telling you, it's going to help you have success. What I'd like for you to do this week is leave me some comments. Did this resonate with you? Or do you plan on doing this? Have you already been doing this? If you have, has it worked for you? Leave some comments below the video here and let other people know. If you've been doing this and this mental approach is working for you, then share it with other people. And if you will, please click the Facebook button and the Twitter button here beside the video. I love to share this kind of information with other people and with people in your networks on Facebook and Twitter. I mean, obviously, anybody in any business or with anything in life can benefit from a good lesson like this. It's called just doing things one step at a time, gaining a lot of confidence, and being able to conquer your goals and obstacles. So I hope this has resonated with you. I much appreciate you being here on the Success Connection. Please leave me some comments. I love to read them all. Connect with me on Facebook and, retweet this and like it on Facebook. Share it with other people. Let's help other people. And I'll see you right here next week on the Success Connection.